The other thing I was talking about in my patio chat of a couple videos ago was how the narcissist can lurk in these self-help seminars like breathwork. And I recently came upon a female one. She actually was in a group where you paid to have information and exercises given to you. It's a program I'll talk to you about in the future. It's from the Vibe Institute. We'll go there later. But for now, I thought of it this morning because I thought of this person this morning, although I didn't think much of her. She was in the group. We were having a few exchanges and talking a little bit about our story. And then I came to where I said how happy I really was, just the comparison and contrast of having my mornings respected and my boundaries respected. I mean, that last guy physically violated me. And the man I was married to for a decade, he did the cold shoulder treatment and regulated what I spent my money on, even after we had gone on seminars that were the Millionaire Mind seminar and the jars, and what it's like being in a partnership and how everybody has to have their autonomy even over where their money goes. Not if they're gambling it away and spending it on superfluous things and luxury items for themselves. But if I buy a new set of pruning shears that are ratcheted, for instance, why would I become lambasted and yelled at for that? So that's financial abuse. He was a financial abuser. He was the one that would pull up a cup, a little confessional. It's not Christmas time. I just like the size of this mug. I'm having cafe au lait that I made myself. But yeah, this woman, okay, and how did it relate? Because what I said within the group, and she was the only one that didn't relate, I said within the group, I said, by comparison and contrast, I no longer have harassment. I no longer have stress. I have a life that's content. I'm not in fear for the safety of my life, the ability to sleep through the night. I am not belittled, berated, or disrespected. And I'm able to be respectful of my own self and my own environment and do the best I can to keep it beautiful without having somebody yell at me and expect me to have things perfect and have a full-time job and bring home a fat paycheck. Housekeeping is a full-time job, everyone. Housekeeping is a full-time job. Yeah, the men that I had in my life all expected me to be domestic. It was this unquestioning thing, which is why would I be with a boomer? Unless, the man would have to be somebody who had done LSD in his childhood or hallucinogens or peyote or the magic mushroom or ashwagandha, ayahuasca, ashwagandha preferably. I mean, men, this expectation that that's what you're good for, that's what you do. You provide sexual services and domestic ones. I mean, it's so nice not to have that. It's so nice to not have that expectation from another person. I have answer to myself only. I answer to myself only. So it's wonderful. So within the group, she was the only one that was like, oh, I miss having a person. I'm not complete without a person. I want my other half. And I'm like, I'm living with the fact that there probably isn't one that I could stand being with, and vice versa, I must add. And that lives where I do. Like, I'm not moving. He would have to have bank and like to do a lot of traveling. Because I'm not going where I'm powerless. No way. I've already experienced what it's like being with a man in which you moved there and now you are SCREWED. It's terrible. It's one of the worst experiences you can ever have. And that's what narcissists will do. So ladies, do not have a long-distance romance and then move to his place, or have him, God forbid, move into yours, which is even worse, essentially, because you can't leave. And he won't. Narcissists won't leave you. They will threaten to. You're the one that's going to have to get the balls to leave them. But it's not just balls, it takes guts, and not only does it take guts, it takes loving yourself enough to know that you don't deserve to be treated this badly. I mean, it gets so bad. They're just horrible, 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 horrible people. And the reason why you're with one, as long as you are, is because you were probably brainwashed as a child of a narcissist. And once you finally get your head out of that, when you finally get your head out of it, and you go, whoa, boy, was I conditioned. What a cult of the worst kind. Then you can you collect yourself, and then you can see it. I see the bad behavior now everywhere. And I just step aside and let it keep spiraling, because that's what it does. It's a spiral. It's a nutsoid downward spiral. It's not an upward spiral. So that woman, actually, she voted herself off the island. She stopped being in the group, and then she left messages on the thread that were accusing the organizer of being a fraud, which I didn't find to be true. And then she went onto my channel, the one you're listening to now, and she started posting, I would consider vile remarks, but very mild. You don't address them. What you do with a narcissist is you can simply gray rock method. You don't even address it. That's what people think. You should address it. No, I'm not a public figure. I'm a small channel. I was shadow banned in 2020 for my opinions. I had, in the year 2025, Indian accounts from India, Indian names. That's not racist to identify it, is it? And Pajits, and they wanted money for me to give to them so that they could expand my channel to have more reach. And I thought that was very silly, because I'm not monetized. I'm not monetizing because of the etymology on monetization. If I monetize my channel, it's up for barter. A la YouTube, they add a value to it. Whereas my value is, it is absolutely zero in value, and my channel is priceless at the same time. It's both. I don't care what happens to it. It's my platform right now. And these are this is my world. I dominate here, and if I get kicked off, then that's the end of that. Although I do have a BitChute channel, and I don't plan on being kicked off. I'm not into saying things that are against the platform rules. I simply am here as a public service and as an extension of my own creative flow to tell what I know, so that men and women who find themselves in relationships can discern for themselves whether or not this person is truly never going to change. They don't. They have not the ability to change. They go in cycles. It's the hamster wheel of HELL. And we do have the capability of making heaven on earth. So again, in the context of self-help or in learning growth seminars online or in person, such activities will attract those who have either pathological narcissism or borderline personality or some sort of B cluster personality that renders them walking wrenches that they want to also be the monkey. They want to throw themselves into the machine that somebody else built. They want to throw themselves into this well-oiled, built machine just so they can destroy it. That's their impetus. That's their drive. But they can't if that machine is well-oiled and has a good firewall protection. And this machine did. And the machine is a system that is a self-empowerment system, especially for those who are recovering from toxic relational abuse. It could even be people who are recovering from abuse at the hands of a corporation, a structure, a hierarchical structure. However, it is especially good for those of us who grew up with narcissistic abuse from a parent, and therefore it made us very, very, very vulnerable to male, this is the females, to male mistreatment that we allow because we are willingly in an abusive cycle because that's what we knew as love. So until we heal that, it's not about loving ourselves, it's actually about recognizing that the trauma bond is a drug. It's addiction. The trauma bond is equivocal to the addiction a heroin addict would have. It's that intense. Because it exactly mimics the chemistry in your body of high alert and then release and relief that you had as a child. It is exactly mimicked. And so once you recognize that, and then you go and through that withdrawal, which is horrific. I think I was depressed for about 18 months to 2 years, and great grief, and great grief. Look at my videos that are from 2022. When I'll post one about my mother, the demonic force in the mother. I mean, all of us kids, meaning myself and my siblings, all of us at one time remarked to one another in each other's presence how our mother's eyes would turn black, and then she would do some sort of strange discipline about us, and she would admonish us, and she would get like angry, and it was never over anything normal. And now I know what it was. It was always when it was something against her will, of course. She didn't think of it. We used to call her Almighty. Yes, Almighty Big One. And she would like, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Almighty Big One. You can't. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, Almighty Big One. Although she put an end to it, I still get a dopamine hit thinking about it, because mocking the narc is exactly what you learn to do. Once you identify them, you see they're not trying to hurt you. That woman she downward spiraled, she left the group, she remarked things that had nothing to do with me about her own personal issues on a group platform thread, a la, what is it? Not Telegram, the other one, WhatsApp. And it was just, I'm watching this person just like 100% self, like destroy themselves. And I was going to say, hey, this is a great platform. I don't know what you have going on. I really am feeling a lot of faith about this program, but it wasn't for me to say. It was for me to observe and sit back. I didn't have to respond. According to human design, I'm a generator, but not a manifesting generator. So my duty is to respond, not to manifest. when it comes to things with other people. But I can manifest my own stuff, of course. I do. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I had my ladder hiding back there. I got tired of banging into it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it back here because I do have to put up Christmas lights. And I do have to figure out what to do about this. And I am admitting that I made a video longer than I said I was going to, because I got to talking and thinking about this very real thing. I mean, there's going to be people in their 60s who are going to have spouses die or something. And then they're going to go out into the dating pool and they're going to think the men that are available are actually catches. Whereas in fact, these men could be the most toxic thing ever. And women, the women are psycho too. Like the one that I was telling you about in this class online. That it was just 2 classes and she already was like, woo, 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 woo. Oh, what did she say on my channel? She said, look, 0 views. You're a fraud. And I post videos of my friends that are highly personal, that have nothing to do with anybody. And obviously those are the ones that are less populated than the rest of them. You know what I mean? They're less populated because they're not about anything universal. I have no hashtags. And also, like I said to you, I was shadow banned. I lost the ability to use my channel for, it was a minimum of 6 months. It may have been a full year. Look at BitChute. Go to BitChute, type in Cat Woodland. And I was accused of actually being a tranny. The comments on there, the comments are from ridiculous, ignorant entities who must occupy bodies, and they just say things that are insane. So you have to turn off the comments. I've had my body all my life. I've always had a vagina and a clitoris, and my nipples grew when I became of age. So they're called breasts, and I believe it's because I'm an estrogen dominant human being. I'm a person. I'm a female person. I'm of the female gender. I'm quite certain. But yeah, we were accused. I thought this was ridiculous. And so I was just for me to be able to talk about conspiratorial things. And I juxtaposed the events of 2020 to those of 1917 to 1920, or was it 19 to 18? Anyway, the very same thing. And history, the online, rewrites itself. We all know that, if you actually have critical thinking skills. And so what was the history really? When is personal choice given a chance? Why was all of a sudden everything turned into dictatorship? Why were populations actually willing to put the unmasked ones into concentration camps? It was a very interesting study in human nature. I was the individual who refused the coverings, and I mocked it. And the video got banned, and I was incapable. For as long as I had my BitChute channel, I'd have to look at the videos. And maybe I'll do a comment and response thing. And I'm not going to post a link because YouTube frowns upon that. They like to stay within the family. So if I'll find something too close. One of the things that still remains is, vaccinations, will they be forced? No, here's why. And the reason why I said is because there are enough people that believe in them. It became a propagandized campaign publicly to make receiving what I considered a medical experiment something that was unquestionable. You just don't question it. Whereas I, having been just freshly away from narcissistic abuse, actually in it, I was climbing out of it because concurrently I actually was living in Virginia harboring in place, whatever it's called, sequestering. And me, like everyone that stayed with a spouse that they didn't really know during that time when you're harboring in place, sequestering, isolating, whatever it's called, where you just stayed at home, stayed safe in one place. Stay safe. Domestic abuse was on the rise with that. Oh my goodness. And I actually got to see all the lies because my partner would actually lie to me about everything, about how much alcohol he drank. And if you see a person 24/7 and they can't go anywhere because there's some sort of lockdown, to which they willingly complied, then you're going to see them for what they are. And that's what needs to happen when you meet people for the first time, even if you meet them at a yoga retreat or something for the enlightened mind. It doesn't guarantee that person is actually going to be an advocate for you in your life. They'd be happy for you to give up your life to fawn on them. That's what they're looking for. Yeah, life is so glorious without a horrific oppressor in it. I'm just going to sit here and continue to enjoy the sun, these beautiful fall colors. And that's all for now. Much love.